It's another EGAD game. What do you know? And it's me, Ike. Hello. I'm your DM. And how about we go through the line of people that are playing for today, who you are, and what your character is.
I assume we will be starting off with yours truly, Carmichael, also known as Mikey. Please don't call me Michael. It feels weird. We're not going to go into it. I will be playing, for the first time in a proper game, Monsieur Rougfort, the swarm keeper of dinner critters and a fairy ranger. The googly-eyed motherfucker himself. Language.
Yeah, he has googly eyes. That's right.
And no mouth, but he still can scream. And next we
And
have...
the next person on the list.
Hello, people of EGAD. My name is Kanpukugu, and today I'm playing Yatze. He's a weirdo, kinda. He's always covered up. Apparently he's very colorful, and sometimes he speaks Spanish.
Hey!
Delightful, I adore him already.
Hello, I am Tallest Null, and I will be playing Professor Wilfred Scranery. They are
Oh
a
boy,
very
beloved.
old owl who, unbeknownst to them, has apparently signed up for EGAD. And apparently someone slipped their membership card in their back pocket without them noticing.
I mean, some people sign their souls to the devil without realizing it.
It'd be like that.
I
Like,
swear
I
to
think
God, I'm going
Ollie
to
probably snuck
commission-
that membership card in. I think that he probably would have snuck it in, you know.
I swear to God, I'm gonna commission someone to make Scranery's membership card of just a picture of him in the background, not facing the camera, talking to someone else.
Amazing.
Somebody snuck in and stole a photo of him. You will join EGAD. Breaches.
And
I
lastly,
am not asking you in.
And lastly, I'm at the bottom. Hi, I'm Whis.
last but never least,
And I'm playing somebody new today. Not new, but a bit new. I'm playing one of my very dumb cats, who is not affiliated with
Yes.
EGAD yet. He's just gonna be there. Show up.
so he's just gonna show up. We're gonna show up and be like, oh hey, there's this cat guy. I guess he's with us now.
Yes. He's going to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and he's going to be put in a situation.
Or maybe it's the right place at the right time.
It really depends on who you ask.
This is a true Portal Half-Life 2 scenario. The right person in the wrong person at the right place can make all of the difference.
Oh my god.
There's echo cancellation option on Discord? Are you telling me I didn't have to mess with my volume in the slightest?
You good, Mikey?
Hang on, let me turn my headphones up to the normal volume I can hear as a human being. Ike, say something.
Technical difficulties. It's cool.
Oh
Words
my
and
God,
stuff.
was it?
Words
I'm
and stuff.
going to... I put up a technical difficulty screen while there was just French screaming in the background because now there's no echo. And there was just a switch to turn it off.
Well, now we know.
Somewhere there's a
No
TV
better
that is
time than the
screaming.
present.
Now there's no echo issue. Should be, hopefully.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah, I don't hear anything, so I think you're good. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay,
Always.
good.
So to begin.
So we begin.
So, as those that are over at EGAD would know, Ollie just wanted a couple of members to go with him over to get some supplies, just, to stock up onto the treehouse. But of course, he wanted to try something different. Instead of going to the usual stuff closer to Jiznip, he decided to take a little road trip over to the Dreamworkers area. Just to see the difference, go from there. He wants a little adventure. Maybe sometimes some sightseeing is just what you need. And so we finally make it into the CGI and looking neighborhood area. I have not decided a name for this town. One day I probably will. But all we know is it's definitely far, far away from the treehouse. And Ollie, he's been driving you guys over. He finally stops to the side in one of the streets, and he begins to write in his book to say, "Well, I'm going to be taking a bit for the day. I got some stuff and errands I need to deal with. I know that sometimes it takes a while, so how about you three go on ahead and explore the area, see what you can find, and we'll catch back here in a couple hours."
Rougfort will he'll merely bow with a nod.
All right.
Wonderful. I haven't been to Dreamworkers in years. Last time I was here, let's not talk about last time I was here. I was a much different person.
Slow eyebrow lift in Scranery's direction, but Rougfort says nothing.
Doesn't
Ah.
even notice.
All right. Okay. Take care, I guess.
He gives a thumbs up, and he begins to head on over to one of the shops nearby. And just like that, as simple as it is, now you guys get to wander the streets of this one town of Dreamworkers. It's a bright day. It looks pretty nice out. There's a lot of stuff going on. Kind of feels like there's a bit of art fair close by, but probably one of the biggest things to speak out is just the well-known theater within the area, too.
You mentioned the theater, but Roquefort's already going toward the art. He's already going toward the art fair. I'm sorry.
Nerve they
Barry's
have.
No, it's okay. You can go to the art fair. That's A-okay with me.
Honestly, it's just like you probably hear just like very light steps, but if you're not looking directly at him, he just sneaks off toward the art fair. Like there were like 5 seconds of him being professional, and then he just saw that and went, "Ooh," and off.
Ooh, paint.
Kind of exactly, yeah.
And focusing on over to Whis for a second, where would you say Matt is located within this art fair? If he is.
He probably is in the art fair somewhere, but not for the reasons that a person is normally in an art fair. He actually seems a little bit lost. He's looking at it going, cannot eat this. Moving on, and look at the next thing. Nope, that's not food either. And he's just going from place to place. It's like, this does not seem like a normal market. What is this? And he's very confused. I'm trying to
I
find
think what he's looking for is a farmer's market and less so an art fair.
Listen, he's not smart. He is stupid.
I never said he is. I never claimed he is smart or not smart.
I found the drawing of him. Where did EGAD go? There it is. Here is the cat, who is trying to figure out whether or not he can eat crayons.
Oh, he's tiny. He looks like he would be wonderful to paint on
The
someone's
Scranery, Rougfort, and Yatze, all three of you, you're walking through, seeing what there is for the art fair, and you just can't help but notice that there's this little cat horribly attempting and debating of eating crayons.
He's looking it over like one might look over heirloom carrots. It's like, is this a strange carrot? I am unsure.
I feel bad for a minute that Roquefort needs to roll a nature check to see if he remembers that cats are not meant to eat crayons or not. Because again, material plane, it's not the Feywild. He kind of doesn't recall everything about cats. He recalls enough to hunt them, but it's like, do cats eat crayons? I don't distinctly recall. Do they?
Don't. Good set. Why are you trying to eat crayons?
What
Oh,
is
God.
crayon?
That's an 11.
Can I pick a crayon?
Yeah?
I pick one crayon, and I bite it. How does it taste? This?
I look at them, just silent.
How does it taste? This? The special flavor? Listen. It was around. Personally, it was around let's say 15, 20 years in this crayons. So I don't remember the flavor.
Tastes like a candle.
Give me a lead.
Wax.
Like, I can roll to see what flavor you get. Oh boy.
You
roll
can
it.
roll, but Roguefort's vibe check for nature was an 11. Does he remember cats aren't meant to eat crayons?
Yeah,
He
I
doesn't
think-
remember that crayons would be a big thing. Like, I don't think he knows that. Like you sort of know. Like, I'm pretty sure that's more so an object and less so a food item, ideally. But it is made out of wax, from what you remember.
Why?
So you're not sure. You're just kind of like trying to go off of facts, and you're also going, but wax technically could be edible depending on what products, what things you have.
Yeah,
And your
unfortunately,
thought
his brain
process is
has
just
gone
getting
the food
deep into your
direction,
brain.
whether he
Yeah.
likes it or not. Let's see what flavor you roll before he decides to scold them for something different, aside from the flavor.
So Yatze, you took a bite into this crayon, and immediately it tastes like blueberry.
Eh,
Hey, David. David knew they taste this nice.
Monsieur,
You want to
if-
try, guys?
Roquefort is going to politely pinch the crayon away from our lovely friend and put it back and go, I am afraid, monsieur, if you eat any more, we will have to buy the box.
I mean, right
Buy
now,
as in dinero, as in get it?
It just kind of tilts his head
What are you
and
gonna
then
do,
looks
Matt?
at the Scranery.
what is Matt gonna do?
Matt is
How
going.
is Scranery feeling in this?
Matt-
They're very confused. They're very, very confused. Scranery, in all honesty, was like, "Ooh, I wonder if I could find some funnel cake." But now is like, "What? Did Oliver leave me with a bunch of children who will literally eat anything?" I don't know.
Well,
Oh,
Hey,
probably
that's
not. Just
something
anything.
in my past, probably.
I'm just gonna roll Matt something. Yep. All
Oh
right.
my god.
He's yoinking that box of crayons.
Perception.
You now have a box of crayons. Congratulations.
Flavored crayons.
+8. That's a nat 20!
Oh my god.
Can Roquefort try and slide a hand him back on the shelf while he's not looking?
Yeah, I think you just do it at that point. You rolled a nat 20. I'm giving it to you.
Just the box is taken. Roquefort, without even really glancing at it, just reaches two of his forearms over, politely stealths it off, puts it back. Instead, what he is going to hand the cat, to occupy the cat's time and appetite, is he's going to have part of his ethereal swarm materialize so he can hand him a dinner critter.
And what form does this dinner critter take? By chance.
Thank you for asking. I need to pull up the table that lists dinner critters. If
I mean, if it's gonna be inside of, if it's gonna be like in Matt's hand, I'm gonna assume it's not too big of a dinner critter.
Oh yeah, no, it's not going to be too big, but the matter is his swarm has a variety. It's not just like an entire bundle of little strawberries with googly eyes, though he does have one that's white with little red seeds that he just appears to keep on his shoulder at all times like a beloved little bird.
What?
Don't worry about it. It's his baby. Don't worry about it. Let's see. We're
It's a
gonna roll
little strabby baby, just chilling out on your shoulder.
Okay, so that is a 13. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You get one that looks like a stick bug made of celery. With little googly eyes.
Get stick bugged.
It does indeed do the little stick bug dance in your hands.
Matt thought that he was holding a box of edible crayons, and now she's like, "What? What is this? What did
You got
crayons
stick
become?"
bugged. You got stick bugged.
It is a celly sticks. It is a snack. Eat it.
Is
Rude.
moving. Ooh, okay. And he is just going to. Matt doesn't normally have a mouth, and the entire time he's talked, he hasn't opened his mouth. But then you kind of just picture Pac-Man.
Yeah,
Comf.
yeah, just
Gone.
waka.
Yeah, basically.
I love that.
Would you
Just-
do me a favor and roll me a d12?
Sure.
Oh my god.
The fact that people just keep doing this. Okay, 7. Let me check what it is on number 7. Your right ear turns into a celery stick.
Oh god.
What?
Okay.
Rougfort does not flinch at this and just pats you on the head and goes, "You may have more snacks if you follow along and do not cause trouble. Oui?
Why?
It is their purpose to be eaten, is it not? As is the purpose of all creatures.
Is
It is
cost
eaten
to
in this world.
is there cost to strange moving food?
Apparently.
Repeat what you said.
Is there cost to strange moving food? Do you require payment of gold and such?
Oh, absolutely not. You just, absolutely not. Just enjoy yourself. You can see the smile in his eyes, even though he has no mouth. And there's no Pac-Man situation where it's like a Muppet mouth that opens and shuts. There just isn't one.
Fair
There
enough.
just physically is not. He has no mouth, but he can scream.
Doesn't he have like a mustache? I always assume his mustache is wiggling.
Yeah, the mustache wiggles by default whenever he moves. It wiggles with the googly eyes.
Wow.
If you would
Is-
like to try one while we move, Monsieur
How is
Scranery.
Scranery and Yatze handling this?
Just gonna
There
quickly
was
roll a perception,
visible
see if Matt's
flinch
noticed.
backwards when the ear sproinged into celery.
I'm gonna say he hasn't noticed either.
I am also going to just copy paste the image of this funny little creature. So allow me to put it into the roll zone for you.
Oh my
Again, calling
gosh.
it. We know what these are. We know what these are. Hey, am I allowed to paste this image in Discord? Please? Am I allowed? Motherfucker, am I not? Great language. Sorry. Excuse me. Minute. Player chat. Can I paste in player chat but not in roll zone? Cool. Understandable. Anyway,
Oh, weird.
here we go.
But yeah, it's just
Basically,
a little
looks like
stick
your
bug.
ear looks like a cone of celery with like peanut butter in it for fur.
Cute. I love that.
Just try
Oh
not to
my
eat too many.
gosh.
That is an above board recommendation. A few is fine. Just don't have more than 5 at a time.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Oh,
But
this is
no,
a wonderful time.
He's very casual about offering snacks while you move, just as long as it means you don't have to eat crayons and pilfer things. Because again, please stay within legal law. He does not want to get in trouble with EGAD. He is completely lawful. He is
Very
completely
concerned.
lawful.
Very concerned.
I think Matt's just gonna be like nodding. He's like, is good. Have food source that does not cost gold or other types of payment. Yes. Thank you. My name is Matt, and I am looking for work in order to have coins in order to buy more food. Do you know of work I could be doing? Yes.
Well, I'm sure we can find you some work, lad. This is not it should not be the hardest thing. Once Oliver gets back, I can introduce you to a man who is definitely looking for some go-getters. Let us not talk about the eating the live being that turned into a piece of you. Let's go just this way. He's pointing off in a direction.
Fred has, by the way, no idea that you were perturbed by this, nor does he care. His face just looks completely unbothered.
Matt still hasn't noticed.
Now, would
so.
Now, would you say that Scranery is just like at this point is like just immediately walking, kind of being like the first person to walk
Probably.
into a totally different direction?
Probably.
Could you do a dexterity saving roll for me?
Oh boy.
Oh boy. By the way, remind me, Kanpukugu?
Yes.
What is the name of your character again, since this is the first I've met them?
Yatze.
Yes.
Yatze. Okay.
Here, I'll
So
type it in for you.
Okay, so Yatze. Okay, so would Yatze like a dinner critter?
I like a what? Excuse me?
Dinner critter. Does it? It's his ethereal little swarm that he makes physical.
I guess.
Above board, they're bug snacks. Above board, we know they're just bug snacks.
They're bug snacks.
Okay, I guess.
Also, Scranery, you got a 15. Heck yeah.
Right, let me roll a d20 for the one that he holds out to offer to you. Whether you take it is up
I'll
to
let
you.
you guys get your snacks first.
That's a nat 20.
Oh my
I
god.
wish I could have used that later. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh, wait, we're rolling?
No, I'm rolling.
No.
13,
Oh,
14,
only
15,
one,
16,
Not
okay.
yet.
18,
Not
19.
yet, okay.
You get what appears to be it looks like a cherry, but the stem is curly like a spring and it bounces on it like a spoink. It also has the googly eyes, and I will paste it into the player chat here shortly. And it's just going, cheery, cheery. It has a very tiny, very cute voice.
I can't help but
I
like
have no
hear-
concept of bug snacks, so this is new and hilarious to me.
Good. Good.
That's great. That's wonderful.
Good. Anyway, have
They're
a
funny little food guys.
They're just fun little food guys. They're just fun, innocent little food guys. Don't worry about it. Would you like to eat it?
Uh, I don't know either of a player of a character if I dare to eat something so cute.
You can't just keep it with you. It'll rejoin Rougfort's swarm if you eat it. His swarm doesn't really deplete. He is just bound to a swarm of dinner critters that can go ethereal and corporeal at a whim.
I'll keep it for now.
Yeah, you have a little bouncy friend that has the body of a slinky, and it's just
Got a little
bouncing
guy.
back and forth on your shoulder. You just have a little guy. It's like a dashboard dancer, like in a car.
Oh my god. I love that. I love that visual you just gave me. God.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Rougfort actually is. We do have Scranery's dexterity save first, please. What happened to the owl?
Oh yeah, so while you guys are giving each other snacks, essentially, so Scranery, you actually did pretty good regarding your roll. You got 15. So here you're like, okay, let's just get out of here. You know, we're over this part. Okay, weird snack eating things. I don't know, dinner critters. This is entirely new to you. You keep going, and luckily you managed to avoid bumping into somebody else as you pause, as you can hear somebody complaining or panicking about something.
They will waddle over because like many old meaning
They will waddle.
yes, like many old men who want to help, they can't help but overhear things and
Oh, of course.
put themselves directly in the middle of something that's not their business.
I'm
so-
trying to look up a gif of Al, and instead I've just found a gif of Al as a puppet, and it's the cutest thing, but I'm not posting it immediately. Just, Proceed. Continue. You're fine.
So, do I need to make a check to eavesdrop?
I think you're pretty close that you can actually overhear what this little guy is going off about. So you make your way over, and you see this white-faced looking character. Mind you, his face literally looks like one of those like usual masks, like a basic mask, really. He's got some glasses covering the eyes, though. He's got a little brown hat, and he's panicking. He's definitely panicking in a kind of a dramatic manner for that. Oh, I can't believe this. How could they just? Oh.
Hello, sir. I
Oh,
need some help.
I do, in fact, actually, I do need some help. I don't suppose you're aware about this place right here, that's right behind us here, the All Stars Theater.
It was not. I don't think it was built last time I was in town, but it looks wonderful.
It's been here for at least a couple of years. But my point is, I am a director for a production that is happening here later today, and my main cast has gone missing. Some of them have bailed out. Some of them have gotten sick. Some of them I don't know where they are, and I don't even know where their backups are. I don't know where the stand-ins would be. I don't know any. The understudies. I don't know.
Andrew. I
I just
well,
need 4 more actors to try to work this out, but I don't know anybody who would be able to take on the role for something so soon. And
As this is happening, by the way, Roquefort's, I will mention, his ears are tunishly long for, as is traditional for fairies. Their ears can be any number of lengths depending on their heritage. His are just very long, which is very traditional for very. It's for older fairy heritage, closer to high fae, archfey, that kind of thing. But fairies tend to have just long ears in general, and just the way they kind of perk and twitch, they're similarly bouncy as the googly eyes and mustache, but they at least don't bounce as much because they gotta listen like a cat. And I'm not sure if Yatze or Matt will notice, but Roguefort is going to just ever so courteously sneak over silent as the grave just to listen a bit further and just look at who's talking in the Scranery.
I'm gonna roll a perception to see if Matt notices.
oh yeah, go for it.
Nope.
Just 1 point away. Just 1 point away.
He turns, and then the person who gave him celery bugs is gone. It's like dotted outline. Dink, dink, dink.
You just see a faint little outline of part of the swarm go ethereal, and that's it. He's out. Yatze, do you notice anything?
I see that someone that was supposed to be there is not there anymore. I guess he's doing something important. He just shrugs.
Like, well, better go catch up with the owl and see what's going on.
Yeah. Matt will just trot over to where Scranery is. And he's not going to say anything, but he's just like, are you going to get me a job? You said you'd find me a job. I want a job.
well,
You want a job. You wanted. I mean, you don't
Saren-
necessarily need acting experience to go about this. Anybody who gets
Experience?
work here gets to have an exceptionally good job. But how am I going to find 4 people to play the parts? Just in the
You
right
need
time.
acting experience? That voice just comes up out of nowhere behind the mysterious stranger, by the way.
Oh.
And there's
yes.
just a 3 to 4 foot tall Roguefort.
Can you count today, Matthew? D20. Nope.
Oh my gosh! Baby!
Unnatural 1. Oh my god.
Beloved! Beloved!
No, he cannot.
Oh yeah, actually, that is a good question. Do we get a picture of the person?
Yeah, he's up the top there. He's a cat.
No, the
Oh yes, for the
Oh,
NPC.
yeah, the NPC. Oh, yeah. No.
So,
Bad. Ignore me.
as you can see, as I said, he has a brown hat. He has some round glasses. A little pencil sitting assumably where his ears should be, but this guy doesn't have any ears. His face looks more like a mask. And he's fairly short, too. If anything, he's slightly taller than Roquefort.
just ever so slightly. I think the
Only
only thing
by a bit.
than him is the antenna, which also bounce.
well, it's been years, but I do have some stage experience. Not quite sure if it will translate out into acting experience, but so far I would be willing. I see no reason not to help. Now, there was one other person with us that might be able to assist you, though. Let's see. I do not want to push someone into a role that they are not comfortable with. Where are they? I'm gonna make a perception check because I feel like Scranery is probably not good at this. Well,
He's just rambling on as you do.
perception
Scranery's just
check
rambling
plus
on.
2.
Meanwhile, this fair best little stranger sees that despite Rougfort trying to maintain the calm, composed spirit, that's a nat 20. Very nice.
Nice.
My microphone won't catch
Old
me clapping.
man.
That's a shame.
Body of an owl,
But-
eyes of a hawk.
But I will say, just I assume you wouldn't even really need much of an insight check or even just a plain perception check to see that. While Roguefort's trying to remain professional, he is slightly buzzing / vibrating with withheld excitement, and his pupils are very dilated and blue. He looks like a very excited bug, and he's apparently not realizing. He thinks, "Oh, I must look like the picture of professionality and grace." Doesn't realize that he has the
Well,
proverbial equivalent of his tail wagging. But
suppose
we have a
that
nat
would
20,
fit.
so what does Scranery see?
Yeah, what does Scranery see? Because I forgot what he was rolling for. I'm sorry.
They were rolling to see Yatze if Yatze had followed them around.
If I what, excuse me?
If Yatz has followed the rest of them into the area.
Or if they've gotten lost.
Oh my god! Well, getting lost is pretty much a Yatze thing. So he hasn't moved from where he is. Look,
Oh, he's still in the art fair. He's still in the art.
he's still looking at the cherry.
The cherry is still
Contemplating
just bouncing.
All
the consumption
consuming.
of a thing that's literally staring at you with its big ol' eyes.
What's staring at me with them big ol' eyes?
The googly eyes just
Yeah,
shrink for the
They
cherry.
say. Oh my god.
They turn
That
into
doesn't
smaller
make me-
googly eyes.
Where did we happen to leave Nest Escorts?
Don't
Other friend
know.
B, not come over with. Yes? Live in
Kind of.
market. Possibly looking at more strangely colored carrots in box that disappear and turn into celery bug. Yes?
Roguefort is going to blink for a moment. His googly eyes go from blue to just black for a split second, then back, and he goes, alright, a moment. And he's just going to quickly flip off. And he'd be the one that flits back over to presumably where Yahtzee was last left, just as it. What size is Yahtzee? Real quick?
He's around. I wrote it down in. I wrote it down in. Oh shit! Because I used it to use meters. But he's 6 feet 7 inches around.
Cool.
Tall.
We're gonna try and pick him up. We're just gonna try and pick him up. Is that strength, athletics, dexterity? Which would it be?
I'm gonna say strength, yeah, definitely strength.
Okay, d20, plus 3. And he doesn't really ask before doing this, he just goes, I believe we have moved on, monsieur. Come on. And d20 plus 3. Oh, this is the gallery chat. One moment. This is not the rolling chat. One moment. That's a 10.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a little bit too heavy.
Bend right angle backwards.
Just a little bit for the poor old fairy boy.
He kind of tries for it and then pauses. Goes, right. I forgot about some. And he just makes a little. Unfortunately, I don't think my microphone can catch me doing a whistle.
He just
But
says, "Oh, hello there."
yes, I believe we are going this way. If you would please, it's almost comical the way he's like almost walking in the air to try and move along, and then eventually realizes, wait, I forgot I have something else that can help. Right, of course, silly. And just releases a moment. Would you be able to walk this way, or do I need to carry you?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I follows you. Está bien. Okay.
Okay, he just sort of just flits back over while Yahtzee is falling behind, still with the little cheery on his shoulder, just bouncing, just watching it. And you know
Yeah.
that
Oh my
when he draws
god.
near to any of his dinner critters that have been at least a little distance away, they just bounce a little more in time to the rest of the swarm and look a little more happy to be near him.
Yeah, Yatze is totally not bouncing at the same pace that the cherry.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Yatze has become part of the dinner critter swarm. I shouldn't say that. That's worse than it sounds. Yatze is not yet part of the dinner critter swarm. But still,
Ominous.
yeah, just escorts Yatze back over. I believe I have found a fourth, monsieur.
Hmm?
He's saying that to Scranery as he just politely walks Yatze back over. Found a fourth, monsieur.
Right then. Good. I don't know if Scranery would know Yatze's name.
Oh.
He's just like, I'm terribly sorry. I don't think I've gotten your name.
My name, me llamo Yatze. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. And he just takes their hand and wax it with and wax it.
You may call me Rougfort. A pleasure likewise to meet you,
Apparently.
monsieur.
Yes. I did not want to leave you behind or leave you to get lost in this town. Seems that this fine fellow here looking for some assistance. Turn back over. Are we getting paid for this assistance?
He nods. Yep, absolutely.
Paid assistance.
His job. Pay the job in gold to buy food. Yes? Very good.
He nods to that, yeah.
So, you are the only other person that I know of at this point in time, other than Oliver, that is around. So, would you be willing to assist?
I guess so. What do you need?
Actors, I believe, maybe the assistants. Oui?
Actors acting like in the TV, like the little people inside the TV.
It kind of takes a minute because, again, keep in mind he's not used to television sounding. Something involving theater.
This mask-looking character in
recorded.
front of
It is
you,
not
he
recorded.
kind of steps in front of all of you and just goes, not quite on
No?
the big screen, but rather on the big stage.
Oui! Infinitely the better one, of course.
An arena. Very
It
good.
would be a, well,
Arena?
I'm not sure if I would refer to it as an arena, but it certainly is quite a big stage. You get quite the large audience on one room, and everything has to be in tip-top shape. I do need 4 actors for the main cast because them and their understudies have been no show.
No show.
And
Is
no
there a
show
risk?
is no good.
Have they gotten sick? Is there a sickness going around? Do we need to be wearing masks? I was not informed we need to be wearing masks.
You should be okay, but supposedly some got sick. They refused to explain, and then some they just disappeared.
Ah.
Ooh, missing persons
No
is a
idea.
very good job.
No idea
Yes?
where they went.
Is a good job for missing persons on adventure rescue. Yes?
That is quite true, but I mean, they are simply missing in action. I haven't heard anything back from them, but I don't know where they could be. But for right now, I do need some help.
Well, is lucky day. We'll fight in the arena. Be good in front of audience. Yes? And he's just gonna give a little bit of a pat on this person's leg.
Oh.
Because I will point out, Matt is 2'6".
Well, there could certainly be a character that would
Baby.
fit for you, perhaps.
I love it.
This could very well work.
Knock knock. Sorry.
Roguefort, by the way,
Eagerly.
is you do note that as Yatze was escorted back over, he would have reached one of his little insectoid hands out, and the cherry would have just bounced back over to it. And he just would have nuzzled it a little before it just casually disappears along with the rest of his swarm into the ethereal.
Also, Mikey, how long is Matt gonna be part salary for?
Probably the entire session, I bet you.
It depends. Is there a time skip in there that passes longer than an hour?
Yeah.
Probably depending on what we get there with, but we shall see.
Yeah, it would
Somebody
just
at
last
my
for an hour.
door. One sec.
All right. But yeah, it's just an hour or a d6 of hours, depending.
Ah.
Again, it depends on the. Most of us know what they're based on, but the ones that don't, I'm not saying anything. Just it's not permanent unless you eat too many.
I think while in this time, technically Matt is likely spacing out. Then
Fair.
this NPC kind of goes up to you guys and is like, "Well, I guess I could also ask though, do you have any acting experience? Of course you don't have to, but it's definitely a bonus if you do."
I have to see if he does. Though the issue is, there is one issue with Rougfort liking theater so much. His charisma is 8, meaning he's
Well, this will be fun. This will be fine.
so -1. Let's see.
But yes, just out of curiosity, what is the acting level for each of you?
Oh.
Do you have any experience with the sword?
That is a 2. Rougfort, of course, physically cannot really lie outright, so he says, I have not personally performed on the stage in the material plane, nor have I properly performed on the stage by means of a written play, but
Well, I
I have
suppose this
visited
will
into
be
the
a first time for everybody, wouldn't it? Oh, I am deeply forgetting my manners, aren't I? He holds a hand out forward for a handshake and goes, "My name is Showtime."
You may come here.
I had a visceral. Sorry, different game, different DM, different campaign, ongoing, like reoccurring villain, an unkillable clown named Showtime. Sorry, I had a visceral
my God.
response.
Did somebody have
No,
a
this
run
one is just
clown?
Showtime. He's just a little guy.
just
He's a
a
funky
guy.
little guy.
Tallest,
Guy.
Tallest, you could be honest, you can find comfort here. Is it Tricky the Clown?
No.
Okay.
This is someone's like home campaign.
Oh my gosh.
Literally kept showing up, refused to die, and taunted people into trying to kill him.
Oh my god.
Very much a.
Oh yeah, no, he's not gonna be
in
like that.
hell.
No.
So it's like my reaction to Vecna. Understood.
Anyway.
But yeah, no, Rougfort is not directly admitting he has not a god-given clue on acting. He loves theater. He loves watching it. Has not acted a day in his life. Which
Either way,
explains
Showtime is holding his hand out for a handshake if any of you want to take on that.
Matt
I mean,
is going to stick his hand straight up because he is so short.
Aw.
He kind of lowers his hand down just so then he can actually handshake. I mean, he's
And
not very tall. He's pretty short too.
I'm gonna roll a strength for the handshake because it's funny.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
pretty
a
good.
12.
It's a pretty good handshake for someone so
Oh
small.
yeah, it's a hefty handshake. That's a pretty solid handshake, if I have to say so.
I'm gonna do I'm gonna do one for Rougfort because he offers one of his insectoid hands, and then I'm gonna BRB real quick to let a kitty out of my room if my monitor will respond. Thank you.
Eee.
His is very light and twiggy. I'll be back.
So when do we have to do the acting?
I would say in about a couple hours from now. Maybe a bit
Wonderful,
less.
wonderful.
I know we are very short for time, but we just have enough time to do one last rehearsal and to set everything up and make sure that everybody knows their lines and knows their character as good as they can. I mean, we don't want to disappoint anybody. We don't want to, I don't think anybody would want the show to close down. Certainly not me.
It's important to know parameters of job. Yes, is very good to know what you're going
Essentially,
after.
yes.
Who your opponent is. Yes, very good.
Less so opponents, but more so other actors. But yes, different scenes, different placement on stage.
In speaking, Monsieur Matt, it is more of a team building exercise than a competition. You do not fight one another. You work with one another. to make an excellent piece that will last thousands upon
Yes.
thousands of years, or
I-
be forgotten when the civilization falls. Depends.
But what if
What
the
was-
play is about fighting?
Well, there is a bit of a fighting segment later on, so we will get to
Rougfort's
that.
eyes fucking shine. they just light right up.
Matt rolled a
s-
3 on intelligence. He has no idea what you're talking about, but he sort of nods. It's good to
Oh
have
my-
allies in combat, yes?
I have to roll a flat d20 to see if Scranery falls back into some old habits he had.
Oh
Let's
please.
see.
Oh please.
That's 7.
Oh, okay. He is all for the theater, all for acting. He hasn't been on a stage in years, and he's looking forward to it. So right now he's just like puffing out his shirt, like
Oh.
rubbing his hands, like, "Well, let us get the show on the road."
Oui,
Of
oui.
course, of course. Well, we're gonna have to go through the backstage because, of course, there's people still coming in on this side of the building.
Wait, there's
So
people
if you
coming
follow
in?
me, we will get to the backside of the building so we can get you all dressed up, all nicely, figure out your roles, and go forward.
A moment. There are people coming in.
Oh, yes, of course. No
Is
show can be done without any people. But
Oh,
for
it's-
right now, it should be okay.
it's
It's not like we're going to be opening the curtains just yet, and they won't hear you.
Matt
There
has
is only
pulled a
the-
scimitar out of his belt and is putting it off in a onward kind of motion and is starting walking in a random direction.
This way, Matt, was it?
Ah, yes, Matt is my name. Yes, and that way. And he's going to point his scimitar in the correct direction, provided
Oh,
Showtime
God.
is like indicating, no, we're going to that building. It's
Oh
like,
yeah, he's
onward.
definitely pointing it to like the backside of this big theater, the
Oh, yeah.
All-Star Theater, of course.
He's going to do a little pivot on one foot, give his tail a little flick, and then onward.
Onward. Vamos allá.
and Roguefort is just going to gleefully follow along and make sure that Yatze does not get left behind this time.
Sorry. He actually has their attention.
You now got the attention of Yatze.
Eee.
Congratulations.
Also, I feel I should mention if
anyways,
we get involved in
and
a fight.
anyways, I asked this guy, Showtime. So what are the characters we have to act like?
Oh, well, we'll get that into that just a moment. Also, Mikey, you were saying a thing? What did you?
Yeah,
what were you gonna
I
say?
apologize. I did not mean to talk over Kanpukugu.
Oh,
You're
sorry.
good. You're good.
Also, is it okay to just call you Kampu because my mouth gets a
Everyone
little-
calls me Campu. Don't worry.
Okay, I'm normally good with long words, but today my tongue has for some reason been in a consistent knot. So I have even messed up simple words.
Your name is weird. Then just call me Campu or Can. It's okay.
Well, I have also once accidentally called somebody Campbell, like Campbell's chicken noodle soup. So
I mean, it's better than calling somebody soup, unless they want to be called soup, I guess.
fair. But for the sake of if Roguefort should be involved in the fighting segment, he does, and this is more for the DM's information, but for the others, he
Mhm.
does have, instead of the short sword that got mostly retired in his first hunting party game and replaced with something nice and new, he has that nice new magical rapier of his.
Mm.
So I'm just keeping that in mind for the DM's sake.
So as you guys begin walking your way in, you're definitely making it into the backstage area. There's this. I'm gonna just preface it to say that this theater is so huge that it could technically have 2 stages at this point. Practically one for practice, one for show.
Cool.
This place is ridiculously big. It doesn't have to be, but it is. And as you guys walk along, seeing like, if anything, this area still has a very vintage looking theater kind of vibe to it, you know, very old school looking red curtains, you name it. Very elegant and very, very beautiful.
This is an incredibly nice setup you have here. It is a pity that your staff have been running out left, right, and center instead of appreciating it.
Oh, yes, of course, of course. It is quite a lovely place, I will admit. Sometimes I get myself lost in here. But you do find a way back out. I can assure that. At least that's what my stagehands often do. But yes, the show. This show that we've been playing is probably one of the classics for Dreamworkers areas, you know? Uh, it's a show called Fungus. I know that sounds a little odd, but it's definitely a big one that we all seem to enjoy here. It's quite a common one to see, but I'd argue to say this theater probably puts on some of the best.
I'm gonna make a history check. Do I know
Yeah,
what?
go for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Scranery's aware of that story. Absolutely. Because, somebody once told him.
Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, for war. Yes.
I'm gonna roll to see if Roguefort actually is aware of this, considering the fact he rarely ever sees the material plane. So I'm not sure if he'd actually be aware of the war or not. What check would that be? History?
I'd say history, yeah.
Oh god, can you imagine him still thinking he probably, if he fails this, he probably thinks this is just some unique individual hiring property. He doesn't think, oh yeah, war? Why would there be a war? They're clearly still working together just fine.
Scranery is going to very quickly take off any regalia he has of working for the Magic Academy
Oh
and
my god.
the capital of Giznip.
Rougfort got a 5. Yeah, unfortunately, you do not know your history regarding Dreamworkers area.
Oh yeah, no, he tilts his head and Scranery, you just hear out of his non-existent mouth, there was a war? It does not look like there was one.
Okay. How do I
Oh
explain?
yes, that was certainly a thing as well. But of course, we are definitely past that point.
No, yes, it's water under
It's
the
been
bridge.
quite a long time since then.
Yes, water under the bridge. It's quite fine. Everything's fine. It's just a little odd. How history goes.
Oh yes, of course, history does seem to be quite like that. But any which way, we must move forward, right?
We,
I
especially
guess.
knowing that most of our history will eventually be lost with the passage of time.
Thus, it is usually my job to find that history.
But yes, we're currently hosting the show Fungus, which is basing off a character called Fungus. He is how do I put it? He's a
It's a
very
good translation.
tall, he's a scary mushroom-looking monster. He's meant to be fearful, scary, but he doesn't want to be that. He just wants somebody to love and somebody to be with and to explore the world and to be treated like a normal person.
I need to roll something for Roguefort real quick. Excuse me. Sorry about it.
Oh
Would you say it
God.
would be a self-persuasion or a self-deception to try and lie to himself and say, "Oh yeah, no, this character doesn't relate to me. It's fine. This doesn't relate to me. It doesn't relate to me. I'm fine." Deception or
I mean,
persuasion?
that's entirely up to you.
We're gonna
That's
say
entirely up to you, my
I'm
guy.
gonna say he's lying to himself because unfortunately that hits a lot of points. So deception, he gets a -1 because as we've established, his charisma's 8.
I
Of
knew
course,
I'd
that's only one of the characters. That's probably one of the biggest rules of the production.
Unfortunately, he is good enough at lying to himself that he's just like, "Ah, yeah, no, it's just a very normal character. I can relate to it on a partial level, but I totally don't relate to it for any sympathetic reasons. It's fine. Don't
Oh,
worry about it."
Rockford.
of course, beside it is simply a little donkey. This donkey is definitely a friend of his, a sidekick, if you will. He's meant to be
Then you
bringing some
say,
laughter
I
and
see.
fun to the crowd, Because while we do have some emotional moments with Fungus, we definitely do need some laughter amongst the theater, too. And of course, we also have the prince and princess. They both are very important characters to this as well.
Oh,
A
yes.
princess that just doesn't want to be held back, and a prince who just wants a princess.
Have met princess like that. Yes, she is very argumentative with her father. Does not appreciate dragon wife. Yes.
Oh, you're familiar with this story then?
Blink, blink. Huh? Is it not story? Is very real. I fight this dragon. I did not win, but I did fight this dragon.
I don't think we are thinking the same story then. This is certainly just a little fairy tale of our own. Probably one of the oldest ones that we have around here.
Fairy tale?
If
You
you
say
will,
that looking at a fairy.
it's
With-
figure of speech, not quite literal fairies, of course not.
Oh no, I totally knew you meant the figure of speech. Of course. I was wondering why. I wasn't wondering why I wasn't seeing any of the fairies around. It's fine. Just dusts off the shoulder to his little capelet. It's fine. He's still in the pith uniform, by the way. He's not dressed casually for this at all. He's still in uniform because he thought, oh, this will be an escort mission. It's fine. So he just looks like a big game hunter with a beret.
And on top of that, I will say the prince, in fact, is actually the antagonist of this show. It's to put a twist onto the typical idea that a prince should be the hero, when really he doesn't have to be.
Yes. Happened then too.
So we need these 4 rules to be taken care of. I don't suppose each of you would know which role you would prefer to go for or want to try. I'm not exactly being picky, but we do want somebody tall for fungus. We probably somebody shorter for donkey, I suppose.
You need a donkey?
But yes,
I guess I can do that. Okay,
do you like
Hey,
to sing?
hey,
Yatze?
hey kids,
like
you want
to
to
sing.
you want to see a trick?
Let's see.
Excuse me?
Let's
Let us
see.
see. Let us see the trick.
Okay, so Yatze is a derived circle of the moon. That means it's
Just wild shape
shapeshifting
into
time.
Just wild shape into a donkey. I love it.
Okay. Yeah, Yatze takes a deep breath, and it just
Well, that is excellent. That is
And when the
exactly
smoke
the
clears-
kind that I have in mind. That is perfect.
and when the
Perfect for the
smoke
role.
cleans, hey, it's a donkey. He's still covered.
You broke up.
Yeah,
Yeah, you broke up a little bit.
Like this. Yeah, like this.
That is perfection. I might add a little bit for costuming, but aside from that, this is perfect.
Now, you
Camper, you keep
That-
breaking up. You keep
I
breaking up.
broke out again.
I can't hear you.
I'm trying not to laugh.
I
but
thought
the
that was
fact-
me.
I'm trying not to laugh. I'm sorry, Ken. I'm sorry, Ken.
what?
Every time you
you-
start the trick, the text just starts cutting out. So it's just like, oh, watch this!
Yeah,
Nothing.
your audio kind of cut out just a little bit. So we didn't
Oh.
quite hear your full thing, unfortunately.
Okay. When did you did not hear?
We got the impression that you turned into a donkey because you're a druid and can do that. But apart from that, no idea.
Okay, he's a donkey. He's all covered up. What you can see is still colorful, and I was just wondering that how we don't fight because I don't think you can do a lot of damage with a donkey.
How colourful. Does he look like a pinata donkey?
Oh my god. Please tell me he looks like a
A
pinata.
little bit, but with more extravagant patterns.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Excellent.
Yeah, you have a donkey now.
Perfect.
We have a Viva Pinata. We have a Viva Pinata. Congrats.
We have
everybody.
Viva Pinata.
But Rougfort is going to say, I do believe that you would be fitting for the role of the donkey, but I would rather not choose the role myself. I would like to see what others feel they fit best, as I would like to compensate for what the team lacks. As it
That's
stands,
entirely fair. Of
clearly
course,
not
I know
the.
typically the director would be the one to choose everyone's roles, but we're a little pressed for time.
Scranery is talking under his breath about the factual historical moments from
Oh
the
my
war,
god.
and trying to, like, in his own mind, trying to soften the blow of what I can only assume is Lord Motherfarker.
Oh, I will actually. Rougfort is going to look to the director at this. I assume it's Showtime,
Oh yeah, the director is indeed Showtime.
as I am not tall enough for the role of the prodigal hero. Which role do you think I would fit better? The princess
Hmm.
or the prince?
He begins kind of pacing around a little bit. He has a hand to his chin. Well, I feel like you could potentially pull off being scary, but at the same time, being a princess who just wants freedom and has a secret that she would hold on to as long as she can, and has to learn to accept that fate. That is also something. But then the prince, also an antagonist. Somebody who is willing to fight. Good old fungus.
Me. Matt's got one hand up. Me, I will fight the beastie.
For the sake of love, you know.
Fight monster. Glory, yes.
Or love, more so than glory.
I will say above board. If anyone wants to do an insight check on Roguefoot as you were describing both the princess and the prince, that was unfortunately a self-deception with disadvantage, so he's not doing a good job hiding a slightly familiar look he gets at the mention of Princess with a Secret and also the prince.
And in the meantime,
Oh.
you've just got
my
Matt bouncing
gosh.
into the bottom of frame, going, me, pick me.
I don't know
Now-
why, but Roguefort, or anyone could probably see the professor is trying to fight his two inner, like, selves. One, the former performer, and two, the fact and history nerd.
You have Kronk's Angel and Devil on your shoulder, I see.
Like,
Oh my god.
you know the most about the prince. You've studied this. It's like, no, okay, look, it's dark, it's perfect. It's a blemish on Giznip. It's fine. Like, just don't think about it. Don't think about because they've probably seen this play before. It's like, yes, they've changed some names for licensing reasons. So now the former prince is in my brain. It is
And exactly who you think it is.
yeah. I'm just trying to think of a
Unfortunately,
better name
Roguefort
than
is short
Lord
enough.
Farquaad.
Roguefort
Don't
is
worry
short
about
enough.
it. We can discuss names later.
Yeah, again, this might be a two-parter. So I have
Mhm.
some
Oh yeah,
time.
this will definitely be a two-parter at this point. Because
Yeah.
I know you said you're
Please.
on a time limit.
Yes.
Hmm.
So
It's quite tough to decide. But
yes.
little Matt, was it? Matt, yes. Matt, are you good at being intimidating and handsome and, well, in love with someone?
He does know what all of those words mean. Cool.
But can you do it, is the question.
Is unusual for some sort of mission to have. Oh, news deception is sneaking. And perhaps. I'm going to just roll him a performance because I think that's funny.
Oh yeah, I guess performance would fit instead of deception, wouldn't it? Right. What's his? Oh, his performance isn't.
It's
nice.
not great. He's not intimidating. He's a 2'6" yellow cat. He's not intimidating at all.
I feel it's like similar to like seeing like the Legend of Pippi. Where he's just a little guy,
He's,
you know?
he's just too
He's just a little guy.
He's just too little and too yellow and too cute, so he cannot be intimidating. But
Yeah, and Rougfort tries to correct his own posture very subtly, though he keeps glancing toward his right side for whatever reason as he's doing so, but he unfortunately also cannot quite muster the nerve to be intimidating though, because to be fair, you are staring at a fairy with googly eyes, big bouncy ears, and a head full of licorice twist hair and a big funky beret. At first glance, he would not look very intimidating.
At a first glance, of course.
yeah,
He ponders and kind of observes. I'm assuming that Matt also does like a little pose to be like, yeah!
oh yeah, I'm gonna say he doesn't do so crash out on the intimidating bit, like just straight up not intimidating whatsoever. But he does launch into telling Showtime about a bunch of kittens that he talks to about the little ones, and they are very lovely and how he loves them very much, and that is very important for loving someone very much and stuff like that. Like he just goes on this ramble about the other two things, which is probably a little bit more convincing than the whole intimidation attempt, because it's still a 9. It's average. It's not great, but it's average-ish. But intimidation, no. But everything else, maybe it's kind of passable.
It's like you're pitching it to me here.
Yeah, maybe.
Hmm.
DM, I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make a roll for something else?
Yeah, go for it.
Just something else I can't directly mention here, but just something else?
No, it's fine. Go for it.
Okay, let me see. Do I have the... Where did I put it? Okay, good. This is the sheet where I put it on. Okay. What is a... Give me a moment. What is the modifier for a... Okay, that would be a +3. Okay.
That would be an 11.
It's not noticeable, but Roguefort's posture does seem to improve, and he does get a bit of a harder look to his face. You're not sure what changed, but something nudged him. A little. But it's not really much better. And he's just kind of also accepting that Scranery is probably the only one tall enough for Fungus, and then it's just a matter of who gets the prince and who gets the princess. And on the one hand, he would really rather not put on a dress again, because he got out of being a dress centuries ago. He doesn't want to go back to dresses. He doesn't want to go back to feminine presentation or anything. But at the same time, if they need a princess and somebody needs to be saved and he's not very scary, maybe he could put on a dress? Maybe? But he doesn't really like dresses.
Oh god. Like, I find that hilarious, and I'm really wanting to do that. It's like, play Fungus. Oh dear lord. How would Scranery's mind rack with this?
He is big and feathery. He would fit.
Yeah. He's also a very staunchly
It's
gizmit.
like you tell that he's still pacing and trying to figure it out. At this point, let's try to roll for it. Let's see.
Yeah, like
So Scranery, how about you roll me a D3?
Okay.
Congratulations! Your role is the princess.
Oh my god!
I get to sing.
You get to wear the dress. Roguefort doesn't have to, thank God.
I get to sing and blow some canaries' heads up.
I know Matt wants to be the prince desperately because that's the character who gets to do fighting and stuff, but it'd be so freaking hilarious if he got the mushroom thing because he's so little.
And you, since you are so eager, I'm gonna say, Matt, how about you also do a roll, but this time roll a D2. Yep, you got the prince.
Cool, Matt's happy.
Which leaves Fungus for
Roguefort doesn't
Roguefort.
actually realize what role he's being given at first because he's seeing how the others are performing. It's like, I'm still not cut out for this. Why did I think I would be? I should probably just go backstage and just keep an eye out for anything that attacks. Like, he's almost looking like he wants to back out of the scene.
And yet, you got probably the biggest role out of everybody here.
He doesn't realize it immediately, you have to understand. He actually hasn't noticed the roles are being given out. He's actually kind of dissociating as
Oh,
the
he's in
Prof.
his own little head at the moment. Oh,
Oh no, he's
gosh.
just dissociating, actually. Proper. He's just kinda like,
No.
oh no, maybe I should just disappear. Maybe I should just maybe wait somewhere else. Just like he's
Mr.
glancing around a little.
Rougfort,
Oui, monsieur. Eh.
I do believe you now have the role of Fungus.
He
I know it's a
blinks.
very big. I know it's a very big role, and believe me, it is quite a bit to learn. But I am hoping that we should be able to get all of you in tip-top shape just by the time the show's ready to go.
He
I have plenty of faith in you.
he glances around for a moment. He glances at the height of the others, and then at his height, and then he just points a finger to. He points all 4 pointer fingers of his insectoid claws at himself, like. Me? What?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
While I did say that he is a tall character, we can still find ways to make that illusion work for the audience. And we can also make things work if nobody else is of that height or we have any way to make it that height.
Oh.
It does not have to be
Oh.
perfect.
I could help with the illusion of height, but are you sure?
Oh, of course. We do
Quite-
need a fungus.
It's quite fine.
I suppose I am
Most-
species considering. I am technically a
And lovely
fungus,
Scranery here, he could be the princess.
Oh,
Of course, you don't have to kiss. I could probably say unless you want to do a little on stage kiss, you can, but you really don't have to.
Roguefort looks visibly relieved that he does not have to wear the dress. Doesn't even hide it, just like immediately deflates. Oh,
It will not be the first time I've played a woman or a princess. That was a very odd Saturday.
Well, you get to play quite a lovely royalty, the special kind of royalty that actually goes against of what our main antagonist aims for. So that's quite lovely. You get to
Yes.
move forward, and you get to I guess you could say blossom forward as this adventurous woman,
Yes,
adventurous character.
hey.
right. She. I think I remember seeing the treaty. Oh yes, I think I remember her name. And he's just gonna start rambling about
Oh.
things.
That was, oh my god.
Meanwhile, Matt just rolled an unnatural one.
Matt?
Again?
Matt?
Again?
What is Matt doing?
Not have any idea what's going on. He's completely consumed with with the elation of going, I have the role where I get to fight the monster. And he does not realize that he's supposed
He
to
doesn't realize it's the antagonist.
Well, there's that, but he also doesn't realize that he's supposed to be trying to like keep the princess for like keep her into traditional princessy type things. He's
Oh no.
he's not gonna stick to script. I'm so sorry in advance.
Oh, this is gonna be wonderful.
We'll see how this goes. It'll be great.
I just have to type a question real quick, but I am okay for this.
But yes, during that as well, you can see Showtime. He looks very delighted by this decision making here. He definitely goes over to Matt and goes, and you get the lovely role of our main antagonist. You get to be the prince. Prince Charming himself.
It's good. Fight monster. Yes. Win for glory. Good
Yes,
for
you
kingdom
will
for
be
princes and
fighting
stuff.
fungus, yes.
He was not very charming.
Matt's just gonna turn towards Roguefort and just smile.
He's just gonna turn toward him, and you can see the smile in his eyes, but he just has a look of, this is how it is. And he just
This
kind
way.
of, he gives
I
a
know what
very
happens.
subtle but respectful bow to him, goes, I do hope it will be a worthy fight, but do remember this is for entertainment. Do try not to draw any blood. Would you, monsieur?
Oh yes, no actual fighting would be involved on stage.
Oh,
Of
fighting
course, we
for
don't want
audience
any of you to
entertainment
be
is
actual.
very normal. Very done before. Yes, fighting for audience. Oh, very simple. No problem.
Kampu, I would die for Donkey Yatze. I want this to
Oh
be
my
clear.
god, I love that.
I would die for Donkey Yatze.
Listen. He's enjoying being a donkey right now.
Oh,
It's alright.
He's just vibing as a
No,
donkey
I'm
while
not
everyone
talking
else is
because he's alright.
chatting.
Listen, I want to say this. He looks like a Toy Story donkey, and for that, I would
I
go
love
and die
that.
for him and bring his body
Oh,
home.
this is
I
very
love
good.
him.
Amazing.
Roguefort would also die for Yatze in this moment.
And of course, as we do in fact have Yatze, who's going to be playing the wonderful comedic sidekick. A very lovely donkey, and he looks spot on, just like what we need.
Now, to figure out how to make myself look the part of an intimidating monster.
Oh, you don't have to worry about a thing. Mr. Roguefort, you don't have to worry a single thing about costuming. We already have all costumes prepared, and we can make sure that they are perfectly fit for any actor.
Right.
Just within a matter of
fitting
minutes.
rooms. I'm going to assume they're this way. Probably look into my dress.
It's like, you want to roll for that?
Yeah, sure. Let's see if Scranery gets lost.
Does this old man know his way around the theater, or does he not?
Ford is
He
actually
has
gonna roll hammer space for
he
something.
has stage experience. Acting experience is something different, but we'll figure it out. What role would you like from me?
I'm just gonna say regular D20. Let's go with it. Yeah, you got a 7. Yeah, you're going in the wrong direction.
As he does, Roguefort just casually pulls up what appears to be a small, incredibly antiquated, possibly ancient-looking tin of Altoid mints, and just pops one into. Again, I cannot stress enough. You do not see a mouth, but he pops it up. His head moves. It disappears.
I feel like it
God.
disappears the minute it gets anywhere close to where, assumably, the mouth
yeah.
should be.
Yeah, just like he moves
Sounds
his
like
head
how
forward.
Rye
And
eats.
just poink. It even makes a little pop sound as it disappears. Just boing.
And that being said, Short Time goes, no, you don't have to go anywhere. How about you four just stay here for a minute? I will get your costumes, and we will get those fitted and ready to go, and we can do some warm-ups to make sure that everybody knows what to do, just in case you do forget any lines. We will be able to find a way back onto the entire script. And luckily, there will be an ensemble that will be on stage for a good chunk of the show, so they should be able to help you out as well.
Wonderful.
But of course, monsieur.
The Scranery is immediately looking at where the under orchestra would be, like the musical bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Just-
you're like peeking over this, like the curtain.
Into the orchestra
Yeah.
pit.
Yeah, into the orchestra bit, because that is where he would probably be the most familiar in a
Oh, of
atmosphere.
course. Oh yeah, you could definitely see like the orchestra is definitely trying to like slowly practice, getting themselves ready. They're taking the time to make sure everything is in order, because they still got some time until the actual show begins, you know?
So, do we have a script or something? Or
Oh,
we
of
just
course we
I
do.
believe the director
with?
is. I believe the director is fetching our scripts right now, monsieur.
Okay.
But I will say I am excited. I really am. And while he's, of course, again, still trying to maintain professional face, you can still see the way that even though his wings are based on a beetle, you can see there's a habit he makes when he's kind of excited that aside from a few things that are just like kind of vibrating or buzzing, you notice that there is a sound being made when he rubs his legs together. Like he's just kind
It's
of
like,
he's very well balanced, but you're just kind of hearing it's almost like a violin, almost, but it's very subtle and quiet right now.
Yes, James and the Giant Peach style.
But see, I am very excited, but I am not used to playing the part of a protagonist. Most people tend to not see me as a protagonist whenever I talk to them or have any ill confrontations, so I am not used to being perceived in such a way. It's going to be an interesting role to take, to be sure. Especially with my
it's like while we wait for showtime and technically Whis to come back, because Whis had to go BRB for a moment, I will say that I feel like this gif fits Roguefort really well right now.
yeah.
It's just the professor from Heckin' Puppet History.
Listen, he was prepared to be the villainous
Just-
prince because unfortunately he is used to being put in that role, whether he likes it or not. You will not get context, you never will. He was also coping with the thought of being the princess because singing is one thing he's very used to. On the other hand, he does not ever want to go back in a dress or a corset or anything feminine ever again.
That
Ev-
is so valid. I
But,
will
like,
say, like, coming from Showtime's kind of like POV a tiny bit, if anybody did get the role of the princess and didn't want to be an actual princess or wearing a dress or anything, he would have definitely like rewritten a little bit just so that it could still be another prince.
uh-huh. I
So
will admit, I
it's
was imagining.
it's interchangeable.
You,
I will
you-
say, whether it's the princess role or the fungus role, if it was the princess role and it did get rewritten, I like to imagine he would have had more that 17th to 18th century Renaissance explorer look with like the billowy sleeves and the open chest.
Oh
You know
heck
the
yeah.
open chested shirt that's just mostly unbuttoned and everything. Pirates of the Caribbean style. Pirates of the Caribbean style.
oh, it's been years since I've worn a corset.
I believe I could help you with the flying if you need the assistance.
I should be I should be fine. A lot of fluff in the feathers, but the arms might be a problem. As he rolls up his like overcoat and like inner jacket, and he's got some arms on him. He's got a what is it? He's got a 14 strength.
Oh, I do believe the arms will be just fine. And again, as I said, if there is any issue, I will find a way to help it fit.
I don't
I
know.
have
I
experience with making corsets fit, whether they are fit on bodies that are not used to corsets or not.
should be fine. Should be fine. I
As you guys are expressing your thoughts about these costumes and everything, finally Showtime comes back with a pile of clothing, all nicely stacked up in his hands.
I
And
doubt
it
I
feels
will
like majority of the pieces definitely have like a gold thread used to actually sew them all up. So it looks very fancy and very good for the stage.
Bug eyes
Interesting.
have glued to the gold.
Yes.
I'm
So
sorry about
for
the-
our main protagonist, we first have Fungus's outfit here. You get a nice vest. It's a little
Ooh.
rugged, a little rough, but we still want to make it classy enough for the sake of what the All-Star Theater is all about. We want to shine like a star, of course. So we definitely have added some golden threads into this lovely vest right here. You see, and then there's a nice open shirt, very nice loose off-white shirt for you, and it's technically like a tunic. You could probably have a belt to go around it if you so choose. Any kind of shoes should be fine. Any tights underneath, that is absolutely fine as well. But the most important thing regarding Fungus is, well, he's fungus. He's a mushroom kind of monster, so of course he has a very large cap. And, well, he's meant to look very intimidating. For size-wise, we can probably make some kind of illusion for it, or we can just work with the fact that he doesn't have to be necessarily big to be scary.
To be, but I do believe I have air thoughts, but you may decide whether it works or not. And he kind of rubs his ankles, he rubs his legs in a very specific way, where the pleasant sound that he was kind of stimming with before takes on a discordant note. And Showtime has not properly seen them before this point, but the entirety of his swarm manifests and starts crawling over his shoulders and the top of his head and his back, just climbing on top of each other to give him this big, tall, lumpy look, just stacking
There
on
are
top of each other with
so
all these
many.
googly eyes looking this way and that and staring.
Oh,
Down.
yes,
So
this
many
this will do
eyes.
quite lovely. This is perfect for you.
I'm actually gonna roll intimidation just for funsies. I want to see if that actually did anything.
So
Or
Well,
if
many
it's
let's
still
eyes.
just
find out
a bunch
then.
of food. Okay, so his intimidation is -1, and unfortunately, he's not getting assistance this time, aside from his fun and fancy, lovely swarm. How? Unfortunately, the shadow, the silhouette is there, but when you look at it, it really is still just a bunch of cutesy, googly-eyed bugs.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a little off.
It's an
We
attempt,
could tell
but
he thinks for a bit, and Showtime kind of goes, "Well, we will get you into costume and see what we can do from there. I'm sure your little dinner critter friends, is that what they're called?
his ears actually perk at that. Really? I'm shocked someone else.
I vaguely heard about them. I haven't really focused on them much, but
Mhm.
I might have seen them once or twice in the past. But point is, hopefully your little friends here will be able to help you with that.
They
I
do
think that'll
disappear
work
on
quite splendidly.
save for the little white one that just sort of tucks its way into his hair. The white one stays. Everything else disappears.
Ah, yes, and then we get on to the princess, of course. You also have very lovely gold threads into this outfit. Showtime hands over this nice green dress. It's just such a pretty dress, honestly. It's kind of like a mint green, kind of. So it kind of almost fits nicely with the palette that Scranery already has. Having like a very green and blue kind of look to it.
Oh, this should be wonderful. He's gonna he's gonna go off behind a convenient vanity curtain and switch in. What kind of roll am I gonna need to make?
You just beelined it to get this dress on. You're like, hell yeah.
He waddles, but
Hell
yes,
yes.
this is not the first time I've had to disguise myself. Congratulations, he's a bit Looney Tune. He's a Warren. He's used to.
I would say that you just do it. You don't even have to roll. You just
just-
do it.
Shenanigans be danged. You do it. But in Roguefort's case, first thing, does he at least spot a dressing thing nearby? If not, it's alright that he can change, because the truth is he's built like a Ken doll. There is nothing to be concealed.
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely some change rooms that you could get
Yeah,
everything done in, but Showtime doesn't expect you to get changed right now. He's just getting everyone's outfits out first.
He is at least going to hold it up, see how it fits. For a moment, he realizes, it's made for a bigger body, and mine is the
A
size
little
of a
bit.
tall child. But he shrugs and he realizes he can make it work. Checks out the vest.
And of course, as Showtime said, he will be trying to make sure there's a way to fit everyone's outfits into being what they need to be. So it should fit later on.
And he just sort of nods, and he kind of politely tucks it over his arm in the way that he's very used to transporting folded clothes in a respectful manner that they don't crease. He is very used to clothes carrying.
And then Showtime goes, oh yes, and I cannot forget, and he pulls it out from his hammer space, because of course he does. I'm just gonna let him do it, because I believe we're close to the time that Talus has to go, I
I
believe.
can go a little more if you need it, but yeah, around
Yeah.
around now.
Because I know you're under a time limit, so.
I'm
Because we'll
sorry.
definitely get to the rest of the show in the next session, which is honestly pretty dang fitting, so.
Yeah.
All good there.
Okay.
But yes, Scranery, there's also a crown that also goes with this little outfit. And he goes, okay, and also keep in mind as well that this dress actually does have buttons on the side here. You could actually rip it open on stage if you need to change into another form of this character. It's quite important.
Roguefort's ears perk, but he pretends he has not heard them for the sake of the act.
So a lovely crown, all that is settled. Some nice shoes to go with it, if you so choose to wear them. You don't have to. I know not every toon wears shoes. That's entirely fine.
And you
And
get
then we have the donkey, which, well, you already look like the part, but we do have some accessories for you to add on. I did find a nice collar that would go nicely. Again, also has that nice golden thread seeping through it. It definitely looks very golden, very elegant. It's like a fun theatrical take on whatever you can find for theatrical clothing and characters, you know?
Okay. It's what did you say? It has like a color or what?
So he brings you a collar. So kind of like a necklace.
Oh yeah.
It's like a heavy set one, perfect for like a horse or a donkey, essentially. But it looks very elegant because it's actually kind of like fabric based. It's actually fairly light and it does have to be sewn with that golden thread again.
Okay. I guess it looks nice.
And what would be for fair Prince Charming?
Of course, of course. Of course, your Prince Charming right here, he actually is in a different color compared to the rest, but you do have that golden thread throughout. just to make it really pop on stage. But you are this bright red young fellow. You get a nice cape right here. You got very poofy sleeves. And a very lovely hat to go on top. And, of course, a sword for your prop. But please do be careful.
Oh,
You drew it exactly as I was thinking it. Oh my god.
I'm just listening to you describe it and I'm like, I don't even have to change it. I'm just sending it now.
Oh my
Speaking of a
god.
sword, Rougfort does adjust his belt with the sheath to his lovely rapier on it.
I cannot wait to hear Matt say the iconic line of Prince Farquaad.
I also
Some
can't
of
wait to
you
see
may
if
die. Why? Why would you die?
I can't wait, honestly, for Roguefort to attempt to be intimidating.
Matt is gonna take the costume and the prop sword, and he's just gonna be looking at it. It's like giving it a bit of a wiggle, and it's going whoop, 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 whoop. This
I'm very
sword,
excited. Oh.
this sword, low quality, very very poor. Must take back to blacksmith who make. Yes.
No, not quite, because we don't want to actually hurt any other people on stage. Of course, it's for show, not for actual. We don't want to actually wound anybody.
He's scratching at the side of his head. He is baffled by this concept.
This is not a. This is not this is not a means of drawing blood. It is not a proper coliseum. It is a theater where it is play. Think of kittens playing together. Kittens do not draw blood when they bite and claw, do they?
It's very weak, very not very sharp, very sharp little claws. Yes, but no blood happen, ink happen. Not big deal.
There should
Well,
not be
here
blood
we
in-
want to make sure that everybody is still standing, so we will be ensuring that you don't actually have to hurt your fellow friends here. That I don't think you would want to hurt them.
Is fight to the pain, not to the blood. Yes, okay, understood.
Rogue. You think if he had a mouth, it would have opened to speak and then shut just with a nod of, yeah, I guess fair enough. That works as an explanation.
You
I'm
see his
sorry, he's
finger
very
hold up, and
dumb.
he's like, and then
No,
you see
I
that
love
finger
him
kind
for
of go.
that. I love him for that. There is not a single thought going on in Matt's head. It is just a DVD screensaver there. It occasionally hits a corner.
Oh
Occasionally.
my god.
Yep, that's the boy.
You look into his brain, and all you see is the circle of monkeys holding hands, spinning in a circle infinitely. And there's happy Mario music in the background. And that's all he's thinking of.
This is gonna be really weird because I think I don't know about any of the other characters, but the professor has a +9 to performance.
It was an in-character decision to give Roguefort to put his charisma as his lowest stat. There's a reason for that, but at the same time,
Mhm.
all the times for the charisma to kick in, it has to be the theater, huh?
The theater, the
Voila.
theater. Don't you love the theater?
I will say though, this is an above board question.
Mm-hmm.
Will I still be able to play Roguefort next time, or am I not expected to come back?
You can still play Rougfort next
Oh
time.
my
It's
God.
fine.
Okay, thank God I'm playing in part 2. Okay, I was actually gonna be really sad if I didn't for a moment, because now I'm attached. Now I want to. I'm invested.
Oh heck yeah! I'm if Sorte comes back as a player for the next session, I will definitely find a way to get them in there. It'll definitely be worth it. It'll be so good.
Okay, because I
So
don't want.
don't worry.
Yeah, I don't
But
want.
yeah, at this point, I believe everybody gets. I'm just gonna like try to wrap this up really quick, so then Talis can get going if you need
Of
to.
course.
And well, everybody got their outfits, and Showtime goes, well, we got a lot of work to do, so come back in about 10, and we will get started on some practicing lines and warming up, and we should be on that stage in no time.
Okay.
Roguefort.
It's quite-
There's a moment where, if somebody wants to, you can actually roll a perception check. I won't describe it unless somebody does, but
Okay, I'll do a perception check. I don't have a character sheet for my guy at the moment, but that's a 16.
yeah, it's not like it would be hidden. It's not like he's deceiving himself into it. It's just sort of a physical thing. It's just noticing a body bit. there is a moment where, as much excitement as you can see in Roquefort's body, because again, I cannot stress enough, he loves theater. He's not used to television, or he's never seen a movie, but he loves theater. He's an avid fan of acting. Has not once sat on the stage. You can see the excitement in that because
Oh,
likelihood
absolutely.
it's not like he ever got the time to enjoy himself or participate, but he's probably always wanted to. But there's also the nervousness of, I have to be big and scary and tall, and I am very short, and apparently nobody's really finding me very scary. I don't know if I can do this, but there's a moment sort of where one of his ears twitches. Not in a way that you can discern whether it's turning anywhere, but it's just in a way that twitches, and he just kind of pauses for a moment and then sort of you can see the way his posture relaxes and then straightens back up so that he looks a little more just slightly more assured. And I'm going to roll a persuasion check real quick.
All right.
That is a +3, so give me a minute.
Yeah, if you want an assistance there, Scranery would definitely go up to you, seeing that you're kind of nervous. If I have to make an insight check on that, I will. But
You can if you want.
yeah,
It's not necessary, but if you want.
yeah. Let's see. Insight +2.
Oh yeah, no, he can't even roll a deception high enough to beat that, especially with a -1. Even a nat
Oh my
20 wouldn't beat
God.
that. It's you are used to seeing Roguefort as calm and assured and confident in whether it's patrol or even just talking about the Feywild, any other number of topics. Seeing him nervous is not a sight for Roguefort. This is not a behavioral thing you'd even think is normal for Roguefort. He does not seem the type to get nervous, and yet,
Do not worry, my friend. Acting is not a sole, a one person's responsibility. We will have our friend here, Yatze, and myself backing you up. It is each actor's responsibility to help each other tell a wonderful story.
That is quite right. Mr. Scranery here definitely has a point here. And of course, well, I will be here as well in case you need any help, and we will definitely have the ensemble on stage as well. They will always be present and able to help you out.
I love how Scranery didn't mention Matt as a member of assistance in that case. He's like, that kid's no help. Let's just ignore him for the minute.
He's
Well,
like, that's just a little guy. I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
Villain.
That's a little guy. I don't know, man.
You're not going to be a part of the ensemble in the moment most of the time, backing up on the person. I understand where your line is going to be. I understand how.
Thank heavens you actually gave something the advantage, because that 8 would not have been very successful and he still would have seemed a little skittish. But with a 12, you do know that the posture sort of settles in, and you can see that whatever was nervously rubbing wings and legs is just kind of slow, and it's just like, and he just kind of nods, and you can see the way he stops letting things bounce and resumes a professional posture. The best that he can, all things considered. I'll do my best not to let you down, monsieur. Especially seeing as
Oh, I know
you're
you
gonna have
won't.
to
It'll
the
be
one that-
quite a lovely time. So let's get out there and get changed, and let's go break a leg, shall we?
And he just
Yes.
nods.
Breaking bones is good for
Not
disabling.
actual.
Not
Actual. That is just a saying in theater. Don't actually break your leg, please.
I haven't broken a bone in years. Wonderful.
Okay.
I know
No,
about
did
And that's where I'm going. Actually, I'm gonna say, does Yatze have anything else to say on the matter?
No, it's fine.
Yatze's just vibing as a donkey.
Yachts is our adorable Rankin Bass looking donkey over here. With
Does like the
yes.
stick bug dance, but he's a donkey, so it's just like.
Oh yeah, actually, I will say with that. Oh man, yeah. Matt still has the celery ear.
Oh yeah. This whole time he had a celery ear, so that's also gonna be fun.
Yeah.
But this is where I'm gonna say to be continued, because we do have to put this into 2 carts. So we'll see you then.
And I am looking forward to next time.
So
Thank
I'll say
you.
goodbye to the recording.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
See you then.